Hi, some lady was here while you were gone. She left you a box. Said something about some portal. The box is right there. Go see for yourself.
What's in the fucking box?
Keeper, it's been a while. I see you're all grown up now. Good. King Reginald regained most of his strength by now. You will have to defeat him once more if you wish to escape these foul dungeons.
Are you struggling with masturbation? Are you going through a difficult situation in life? Are you almost giving up? Well,
today we're reviewing Dungeon Keeper 2, a strategy game from 1999. Of course, it's so much more than just that, and it would be an insult to call DK2 just a strategy. It's a dungeon builder in the form of an RTS coupled with good game mechanics. You play as the Keeper, and you're on a quest to obtain portal gems to escape these most foul dungeons and lay waste to the unsuspecting world of humans, elves and fairies. The forces of good are basically dwarves of Orzammar, and you're the darkspawn of this universe. Your quest takes you throughout the entirety of King Reginald's kingdom's bowels, and each mission, while having the same end goal of stealing a portal gem, will require you to adapt your strategy and playstyle to prevail over the forces of goodly heroes. Is there a time limit? Then you can't go wrong with possessing femme fatale and abusing the game's mechanics and AI. Her acrylics are so long they do exceptionally high damage, and while she herself can't take much more than a slap across the cheeks before collapsing,
I've fallen, and I can't get up!
You can play around this by taking advantage of the technological capabilities of Bullfrog Productions at the time of release. F's in the comment section, please. It may be artificial, but it ain't intelligent.
Incredible.
Quick spoiler warning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Case in point, this is how I defeated King Reginald and his valiant bodyguards. They didn't stand a chance. Me and the blur I was in control of obliterated them. Shitty as this may look in this day and age, just imagine your Quicksilver mowing enemies down and you will be fine. Then again, this review serves mostly as a reminder of Dungeon Keeper's existence to those of you who have played it as a kid, so I am sure you're more or less aware of what to expect when it comes to AI. Evil creatures won't come to your aid just because you can be summarized using the same adjective. You will have to entice them evildoers to join you somehow, lure them in, so to speak. Much like a pedophile, you too must figure out what your future slaves require. A kid is easy enough to capture, but a dark angel? Fuck me. You best put your best child laborers to work real quick if you want to amass a small army of these unholy souls. A bile demon requires a large lair, and they need a lot of food too. They also, fun fact, are for the most part completely useless until they reach level 4 and gain the Poison Cloud ability, not too dissimilar from that of the Abomination in Warcraft. Black Knights will quite happily beat the shit out of anything you put in front of them. Hang on, wrong Black Knights. Found them. Here we go. Sorry. Black Knights will quite happily beat the shit out of anything you put in front of them in the ring.
The battle in the combat pit is over.
I use this as punishment for creatures that displease me. Got an imp that's not performing quite as well as his peers? Let your Black Knights teach him a lesson. He will never, and I cannot emphasize that enough, make that mistake again. Do us all a favor and beat the ever-loving shit out of that subscribe button, would you, champ? Make sure you ring the bell of awakening to receive notifications too. Otherwise, the child gets it. I could go over each individual creature, but I'd rather talk about other aspects of the game too. This ain't an essay, and I am on a tight schedule. Lady Nostalgia promised to show me more stuff if I hurry up with this review. Dungeon Keeper 2, a game that does not take itself seriously whatsoever, and the sound design showcases that rather well. Try making a game in 2023 where you needlessly show a woman's butt, or have them moan whenever they perform an action. I dare you. We interrupt this video to thank two special needs individuals funding my subscription to Adobe's Creative Cloud. Vviki and Leandro. Thank you. I tried getting in touch with Richard Ridings, who plays the narrator in the game. After about a week of hearing nothing back, I figured I'd double check his HP bar on Google. And another round of F's in the comments, please. Dear Richard, you did a hell of a job here. Other voice acting is great too, and the stuff that's shitty is shitty on purpose.
Your portal has attracted as many creatures as it can. Your Sight of Evil spell has been upgraded.
Ah, we are attacked by evil. Flee, my brothers! We must preserve the secret of the portal gem!
Musically, there isn't all that much to it. There's only a handful of tracks, but the stuff that is here is really fitting. If you close your eyes and play the aptly named in-game 2 track, you will immediately imagine yourself in the shoes of an imp, relentlessly chiseling away at rocks in search of gold, sweat dripping from his tiny, menacing brow. In-game 3 track for a sick rave with the lads, and in-game 1 for some quality time with Catwoman herself. You might think that going over the graphics in a 24-year-old game is redundant, and you're right, I agree. And yet, we're gonna go over them regardless. Dungeon Keeper 2 held up surprisingly well. It has a very unique feel to it, and unlike with Rage of Mages, go check that video out after you're finished here if you haven't. My immediate reaction upon turning the game on wasn't retching, followed by putting Lady Nostalgia in ICU for reminding me of that abomination. It was instead a feeling of belonging and the sense of purpose. The sudden need to commit heinous deeds overcame me, and it did not take long for me to succumb to these feelings. I began the onslaught of goodly heroes immediately. I constructed vast dungeons, I mined gold, and I tortured the 3 princes, whose method of imprisonment I had to resort to YouTube for. Should I feel ashamed for this? Definitely. Do I feel ashamed though? Not one iota. You see, you don't start a YouTube channel with the idea of reading user reviews of porny games on Steam if your frontal lobe developed properly and is therefore fully functional, i.e. allows you to feel ashamed. Are your minions disobeying you, Keeper? Slap them into obedience. Just be careful. They can only take so many smacks before saying screw this, I'm out of here.
A guard has become angry because he has been slapped.
Are your armies struggling? Give Horny a call. He's gonna deal with the goodly heroes of King Reginald himself. Are your reserves overflowing with gold, Keeper? Build your minions a casino where the thrill is mild, but the payout oh so generous. Don't make Lady Nostalgia beg. Become the Keeper you were always meant to be once more. Build workshops and have your trolls construct increasingly devious traps. Slay the goodly heroes and convert them into shitty skeletons that can hardly withstand a gust of wind. Build a library and watch your warlocks work tirelessly on turning a shitty, create a frail, decrepit imp spell into create a level 4 Chatstein imp with the digging prowess of a determined mole. Confuse your foes by possessing salamanders who can traverse through lava. 1999's AI hates this one simple trick. There is so much fun to be had with Dungeon Keeper 2. If you're in the mood for a good old game, then you really can't go wrong with this gem that was never brought back to life with a proper sequel using the wonders of modern day technology. Is it janky? I'd go a step beyond that and call it jank incarnate. But that is to be expected, and anybody thinking they'll have a smooth experience playing a game this old is delusional at best. In fact, The jank is what makes this game somewhat difficult at times. The game itself is about as hard as seducing somebody after letting them get a good whiff of chloroform, something I have to resort to with my wife whenever she feels particularly uncooperative. It's the jank that makes it challenging, just like my wife's inevitable struggle, as unlike the movies would have you believe, it takes considerably longer than a few seconds of up-close and personal chloroform action for somebody to pass out. Trust me, I know. If you, like me, are saddened by the lack of Dungeon Keeper 3, then I'm told War for the Overlord is the game for you. It's basically Dungeon Keeper 3 with, as some Redditor put it, the serial numbers filed up. I would like to thank Lady Nostalgia for once again bathing me in her bodily fluid of reminiscence, allowing me to experience another good old game. I would also like to thank you, my dear troglodyte, for making it this far into the video. Come on over and pledge your allegiance to the degeneracy by joining our Discord server or by supporting me on Patreon.
Send me another $50. You can do that, right?
You can also follow me on Twitter, though its purpose is TBD. All my links are just below this lady's waist. She really wants you to check them out. Come on, are you telling me you're going to resist those eyes? Vicky asked, how would you recommend a Lovecraftian novice to get into the genre? I'd go with something short like The Shadow over Innsmouth, as that's how I started out. You can get the book for next to nothing, and it comes with a bunch of other short stories to dig into if you end up having fun with Captain Obed Marsh. It's not too big of a commitment, as it's less than 100 pages long, and it showcases the style of writing prevalent in all of Lovecraft's works. So if you enjoy that, then you will definitely have fun with the rest of his books. As for whether there's a reading order, no, there is none. Marcel, Lyubomir Mitkov, Spigazu, and James Mikhailovich, my beloved patrons, thank you for your continued support. I appreciate each and every one of you, my beautiful studs, my knights in shining armor. That's it for today, folks. I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.